Welcome, everyone. We're so glad to have you here. My name is Paul Pursuti. I'll be your host tonight. And this is not American Idol. This is Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, our Wednesday night midweek Oasis service. We're so glad you've joined us. So I always open with hello, church family. Very special gentleman in our past said that every time he did meditation for many years, Richard Robinson, and he is surely missed this week as we prepare for our memorial service for Reverend Jeff. We've been doing a lot of work in the background, so or in the foreground, really, in the ground, on the ground. So many beautiful things are going to arrive and be present for the Saturday celebration. So we'll talk more about that later. So what is Wednesday night and why do we call it Oasis? And it's a place where we can be together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. We were talking during the social time about how our Sundays are now both broadcast and in person, and we use this medium on Wednesdays and it allows us to stay connected. So Wednesday night is a very special and sacred time for us to connect and stay together. Our method of delivery has been driven by an idea that Reverend Jeff had and that Reverend Jerry is propelling forward, which is a satsang style with the intention that it be a communication or conversation where we can chat with each other. But mostly it's 20 minutes or so of a delivery from a gifted speaker, and then we open it up for that very great discussion period for about 20 minutes. The overarching goal is that these Wednesday nights be informal, intimate, and rich. And that's our intention, and that's what we hope you'll find tonight. Our annual theme is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And our monthly theme, and it's a new month. And Teresa Gardner is our speaker tonight, and she's going to launch us off in this new theme tonight called Reaching Higher. That's the theme for September, and that's the title of her talk. If you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you. We're glad you're here. We encourage you to visit our webpage and check everything out that we have on our website. We also have a Village News newsletter that on the homepage you can sign up for by entering your email address and submitting it, and then you'll get what's coming up in the coming week. So you'll know what's going on here at the center. And there is always a lot going on in the center, both physically and virtually. Just so you know, we're going to ask you to mute your own cameras and microphone during Teresa's delivery tonight. That will improve the quality of the transmission, and the Zoom team is behind the scenes watching to make sure that we do all that. And stay to the end because we got some announcements, and particularly more around Reverend Jeff's memorial this Saturday that you'll want to hear. So, Teresa Gardner, she's worn many hats, but currently she's a licensed practitioner with our center and is a ministerial student going up in Santa Rosa at Holmes, working on getting her ministerial credentials. She served on the board of directors and she did the membership, and I could go on and on and on, but her focus is advancing her spirituality through ministerial school, and we love it and support it. And we're so glad she's here tonight to speak for us. As I said, her talk is going to be Reaching Higher, kicking off the month for us. So we love it when Wednesday comes before Sunday because we get an idea of what might end up on the pulpit on Sunday ahead of everybody else. So all the news that's fit to tell is right here on Wednesday nights. Teresa, with that in mind, I'm going to ask you to open us up in prayer for this service, and then you can launch right into your talk. Everyone, please welcome Teresa Gardner.
Oh, Paul, thank you so much. And I'm really glad to be here on, yeah, I'm glad to have said yes to this commitment to do this talk tonight. So here we go. Ooh. Gonna anchor our energy in tonight. If you want to settle in. Tonight I'm gonna read a wonderful prayer called Reaching Higher, and it's from this book, Prayers and Wisdom and Vision. There is no limit to the love of the all-inclusive one. Its intelligence is forever reaching higher and higher into the fullness of expression. Beauty and compassion are its generous gifts. This one holds everything in its warm embrace of support and safety. The Divine One includes all of life. Therefore, it includes each one of us here, each one within the hearing of my voice and beyond. We are one with its beauty and compassion. We are supported, loved, and held in the Divine Mother's embrace. The free-flowing wisdom of divine intelligence gives us insight and inspiration. We are attuned to the power of transformation that is always, always right where we are, moving through us, elevating life to its next highest expression. We align ourselves with the inclusive nature of the Divine One. I do this. We do this together this evening. And compassion is our natural state. It is the natural state of the Divine One. And it is my natural state of being as I open up and we open up our hearts to express more fully, transcending all false thinking and giving ourselves over to the highest expression of life. Life is creating itself through our thoughts and through our thought atmosphere. So we train ourselves to love more deeply and more fully. We give thanks for the gifts of the One that are now more fully realized in our lives. And trusting in this creative process of the One, knowing that it is the truth, and it makes us more fully expressed in our experience. We celebrate it. We celebrate the love and the union of each one of us here. We celebrate the compassion, the day, all the things that we have to be grateful for. And we let go in this celebration in pure gratitude. We let go, and we let the Divine One have its way. And together we can anchor this by saying, and so it is. Ashe, Amen. Wow, it's good to be here and seeing Shaston. I love your warm, wonderful smile. The rest of you, I see your picture, your name, and it's good to see you. Yes, your beautiful bracelet. I say it's good to be here, though earlier today I emailed, texted, and phoned Reverend Jerry, and I let her know that I had to bow out from this evening. I didn't think that I could make it here with you tonight. I have know. I here I am being a speaker, and yet I am so full of anxiety to speak that it was hard for me to write my talk. And I kept putting it off, and I choosing different ways. And, our topic today and this month, and we started off here, is reaching higher. And it was a lot for me today to reach higher. And I was so thankful for Reverend Jerry. Oh, Reverend Jerry, I'm so thankful for you. She said, just keep that commitment. And so I'm here with you all. And I'm going to do the best I can. And I was glad that compassion was in my prayer this evening. So we begin this month, like our wonderful Paul said, and I said, we begin this month reaching higher toward a greater understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. And I so appreciate the Centers for Spiritual Community, Spiritual Living. All of the centers have this, well, quite a few of them have this theme, have decided to take on these themes. And it's reaching higher is we will be ascending through this month. So it's interesting because we are pushing past our comfort zones, wherever they may be. And we get to use our principles and our practices, our understanding in innovative ways that advance us forward. And then we get to include and benefit from the wisdom and the
No, I want to advance.
hello. I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe that's Bob. Hi, Bob. So let me have a drink here. So this is definitely past my comfort zone. And this is me reaching higher today. And I love this. Ernest Holmes, I'm going to quote Ernest Holmes. He says, we must strike out for the heights, away from the mists and fogs of doubt, and must see things, through the eyes of spirit. Again, we must strike out for the heights, away from the mists and fogs of doubt, and must see things through the eyes of spirit. It's that bigger picture, And I know I've told this story before. It's a Reverend Jeff story, which we're preparing for his memorial on Saturday. I walked into Reverend Jeff's office, and I was doing some assisting for him at the time, and my mind was a little crunchy, and of course his big heart, he got to see that, and we talked, and he said, when you're looking at the beauty of a tapestry, if you're up close to it, it looks like knots, just all knotted up. But when you stand back, you get to see the beauty of the tapestry. So for me, I love that. I love that from Reverend Jeff, and I use that so much in my life. But that is how we must see things through the eyes of spirit, because spirit is a bigger idea for our lives. It's that place that we can reach higher, beyond our comfort zone. And as I was preparing this talk tonight, I thought about growing edge. I don't know. I'm probably sure that most of you have heard about the growing edge. There's the growing edge is kind of it's an upward reach of life past that comfort zone. And so that's part of what I'll be talking about tonight. So one of the things that I want to affirm for all of us, and it's something that I've been reminding myself, and it certainly brings me back to the presence, back to the present moment. But I believe in God. I believe in myself because I believe in God. I've been thinking about this lately. Part of my anxiety is worry and concern about the world, about my parents that are growing older, about all kinds of things. And one of those worries is that I'm not good enough, and it's such an old story. My God, I don't know if you have those stories too, right? That it get kind of stinky in there, you know. It's like, God, really? I mean, I'm 61 now, you know. You'd think I'd give that story up. But I'm learning to have compassion for myself, and that is helping to actually have compassion for others. And that so I know there is a use for that story I tell myself, but it kind of feels like blasphemy if I don't believe in myself, because each one of us here, we're spirit's idea, and it's expressing in and as us, through us and as us. It is everywhere in our lives. It moves us, breathes us. We are the individualization of spirit. So to put ourselves down, to put myself down, it's really kind of blasphemy. It's turning to the truth of really who we are. That is the wisdom to turn to as we reach higher, past the comfort line. You know, I was talking to my boyfriend, and he says, well, you say you want to be a minister. That's a speaker. And before that, I thought I wanted to be a motivational speaker, and it's along the same lines. There are quite a few differences, and that's speaking, and that is out of my comfort zone. And again, thank you, Jerry, for having me keep my commitment tonight and reach past that, reach out of my comfort zone. So I see your heart there. Thank you. I'm still a little shaky. I may be putting up a good front here, but I'm pretty shaky right now. So when I say that, to affirm, I believe in myself because I believe in God. I was listening to my friend Lawrence Edward. He's a practitioner in the Santa Rosa Center and my prayer partner and dear friend of mine. And he was talking about not believing in himself, and that his ancestors wouldn't be proud of him. And he really, really looked at that and thought, my goodness, it's either the divine or my judgments of myself that are lying. Who are we going to believe? What do we believe? Yes, we are in an unfolding state. And I keep turning to that. Unfolding, reaching higher. And each week we'll be reaching even higher. I love that we get to do this together here, and then I can at least see your faces, your pictures on the screen, and know that all is well. Howard Thurman. I'm starting to lean into Howard Thurman. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have heard of Howard Thurman. Wonderful, wonderful religious leader. He's passed. He's transitioned now. He was a mentor of Martin Luther King Jr. But I'm just starting to lean into his wisdom. And one of the things that he says is, I'll quote him here, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people who come alive." So I wonder, what makes you come alive? What is it that makes you come alive? Um, you know, we have new challenges and new adventures and new opportunities to learn and to serve. What makes you come alive? What is it that has you and has me, has us all reach for that higher place? And God, Sage, earlier today you just talked about, giving a testimonial for the center, giving a testimonial for Science of Mind and our principles, our practices. They've certainly made my life so much better. It is not anywhere close to what it was before. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much wholeness, even with this anxiety that makes my heart beat fast right now. There's so much to be grateful for. So as we reach for what makes us come alive, we practice the principles and practice the truths in Science of Mind and the universal truths of love showing us the way and love being in the way. And we step upon that mountain and we find the joy and we find the peace, we find the healing. And it feels so good. And we still come back down and come back and share what we have learned and what we've experienced. That's what makes me alive. And I think, like what you were talking about, Sage, it's sounds like that's what makes you come alive, that you've resonated with other people that in our center, in our village, that resonate with love and kindness for each other, compassion for each other. Reverend Jeff was so good about that. He just was pure love. He was just pure love. The way when he first came, he patted his head, his own head. He was just full of compassion. There's another quote. I love that the Science of Mind magazine is following the same themes. Are you reading the Science of Mind magazine? It's, so this month it's all about reaching higher. Every month it follows the theme. And one of this great quote by Audre Lorde, she says, "When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid." Service of my vision. The CSL Global Vision, whereas we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his or her highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, and a world which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. I love that. A world that works for everyone. If we ponder this, what does that mean, a world that works for everyone? As we reach higher into having a world that works for everyone. Earlier I spoke about compassion, and I've spoken about the voices I have that tell me that I'm not good enough. And it used to be that I I pushed him away. And of course, I didn't listen. I'm like, oh, would you just be quiet? There's so much more for me to do. And lately, I've been showing them love and compassion and doing like what Reverend Jeff said, just, you know, touching my head and touching my heart and giving the love that is needed for the compassion for that little girl that didn't feel like she was enough. And what I've noticed is I've had more compassion around me. There's a lot of people around me that are grieving right now, and my family and my boyfriend, and I've been able to be there in a new way. And it's not comfortable, but it's a reaching higher towards the goal of a world that works for everyone. And for me, it's having compassion for all the differences, all the unique expressions that show up around the world. Having compassion, learning to walk in their shoes and understand and have empathy for others. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And as a village, I know that's what we're up to. That's what we are up to as the Centers for Spiritual Living around the world. There's 400 of us, 400 centers, teaching centers, focused ministries. We're in this together. I love this, how we are reaching higher together. So it's about that time that I want to talk and open it up for discussion. And I hope I didn't jump around too much. Like I said, it took everything I had to prepare for tonight. And I am so grateful to be here. But I wanna unpack some questions together. And let's see, there's 3 questions that I have, and you can I'll say the question, and let's see. I believe it's Alice that is going to call on people, or maybe Paul calls on people. Um, First of all, I wanna open up to how you're being called to reach higher and push past your comfort zone. How are you being called to reach higher and push past your comfort zone? And maybe we might even do it as a collective. Like, how are we as a world reaching higher to push past our comfort zone? So you could answer it either way, but I'd like to open the discussion now to talk about that.
So Sage, thank you for putting the 2 questions into the chat, Teresa, for reference to remind us.
Good.
If you want to, the way we normally do this, as most of you already know, is on Wednesday nights, is if you want to participate in the discussion, you can raise your hand like this, or you can use the reactions button at the bottom of your screen and raise your hand. Peter, you gonna lead this, or
Yeah, I can
Good.
do that.
Peter will recognize you? So if someone has something they want to share, please raise your hand and we'll go into the discussion period.
Allie,
Unmute.
you're still muted. You're still muted,
Okay,
Allie.
I was just coughing, so it's good.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'll jump in because I have sort of relevant experience, and I love your courage in just pushing past your comfort zone. I loved your quote. I can't remember exactly, but it's something about not even factoring the fear if it's in service of your vision,
Yeah.
because that felt really inspiring. And my background was I had a background in speaking, like I won't say how many decades ago, but it was in high school. And I did it only because I was really shy. And so I managed to overcome that. And when you don't do something for a while like that, the fear comes up again. So I had no intention of doing any more public speaking, any imminent public speaking. And a few years ago, I started visioning about what I wanted to do when my kids were gone and being a practitioner maybe and all that stuff. And I remember a visioning session where it was one of those visioning sessions where I got nothing. And I was like, well, that was a waste of time. And the next thought I had was, I should take that improv class I've been meaning to take. Like, hadn't occurred to me in years, but, you know. And I literally found one near my office, got the schedule, figured it all out, and went to sign up. And as I went on to register, I saw an email from OCSL saying that Robin was teaching a visioning class, I mean, an improv class.
Oh,
So I thought, well, clearly I need to do that one. And as it turns out, that was a place where they were sort of training and preparing people to become hosts because Reverend Jeff was about to start the hosting at OCSL and ended up in that. And I did have, that heart racing feeling just in the rehearsals. But, once I got back into it and started practicing, it got much better. But it feels like I just kept going through because it was in service of a vision that kept coming to me. And if we connect with spirit in that way and just, it feels like if you just say, show me what I'm supposed to do, and you get that very next step downloaded, even though you don't even understand it, but that's how I ended up feeling comfortable enough to do the speaking I am doing. So just trying to follow that vision. And I think if spirit had said, you need to do a Wednesday night Oasis, I would have been, yeah, right. But spirit said, oh, take a little improv class. And for me, that's always worked, is just following the next step and the next step and the next step as it sort of downloads. So that was my experience.
thank you, Allie.
Yeah.
It's that coming down from the mountaintop with all your knowing, all the truths, and coming down, and then what's mine to do towards a world that works for everyone.
Today, not
Yeah,
not
right,
way in the future, but today.
right, right. And it's not always comfortable. That growing edge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Love to take an improv class by Robin. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be an activity.
It was Robin and a few people, and then a bunch of our teens. It was fabulous.
Gary, go ahead.
Um, Teresa, first of all, you were meant for this evening, and thank you for being open to being available to us, because your sharing and your vulnerability is so rich and beautiful. And I know that I feel very blessed by your presence tonight. And I love that you said we have so much to be grateful for, because yes, we do. And gratitude is such an amazing spiritual practice. It just opens us up to greater good and to the reaching higher. And so I'm really grateful for your talk tonight. It's just absolutely perfect.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Really. And all of your words of wisdom. I wrote a couple of things down. Well, there's so much to be grateful for, of course. And you asked, how are you being called? And I think I love the topic for this month, because I think I'm being called to reaching higher. And I think that really is the journey we are all on as a spiritual community. So it's really perfect for us this month. So thank you for launching it in such a great way. Feel blessed. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. When I text you today, I mean, I text you, I called you, I emailed you. I'm like SOS.
Oh.
I was texting you and it said Reverend Jerry, and my phone changed your name to Jeff.
Oh.
That was so bizarre to have that happen. I just said, okay, hello there. No,
I
no.
want you to know that in my heart of hearts, I believe that Reverend Jeff is right here, right now, watching everything that we do and supporting us all each step of the way. I feel his energy. I have my little Jeff shrine at home, and I just adored him as well. And I really feel him in the presence of all that we're doing at the center. I think he's guiding us, and I love that. Thank you for sharing that, sweet.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay, who's next?
Justin.
Kirsten. You're muted. You're muted, Kirsten. You're muted.
Thank you. I am so glad to be here tonight, and just having you ask me, it was like I should be. In fact, I think from now on I will be here every Wednesday night. I used to have a class on Wednesday nights, but now I don't. So it's all opening up, and you did beautifully today. You look beautiful. Your words were wonderful, very touching, and I just think you're the best, and your words always touch me, and I just appreciate it so, so much. And I have a lot to be grateful for, and you're one of them.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that, and it's pretty vulnerable. I don't, I, you know, I, it's hard to admit vulnerability because I'm not looking for attention on it. It brings me attention. I'll look at that, but I really want us to look at where we're reaching higher.
Mhm.
What is that edge of where we're comfortable, and we're uncomfortable as we reach. What is that edge? What's pulling us forward? Like, what is our why? What is our why that is we're reaching for? And do you have something with that? You're
Do I?
yeah.
Oh,
Love it.
absolutely. Everything. I it seems like I do a meditation every morning, and the messages always seem to be exactly what I need, and things just open up for me. And every day it's like, can I even go any higher? I'm already as high as I can be, but every day gets better. And being a member of the church, and just and getting to start the youth group now. Sunday was my first day, but I know I'm in the right place, and my life has never been this good, and I just appreciate every blessing that I've gotten, and I just keep reaching more and more every day.
Are you part of the youth? Are you part of the youth church? Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah,
reaching. That's
I've
reaching.
been doing all the Zoom meetings for, has it been a year now? Quite a while.
Oh,
So,
that's
but
fabulous.
but when I met Jackie O, it was like, this is it. This is for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh, Judith joined us. Hi, Judith.
Oh, Dr. Judith. Hi.
Judith. Who else wants to talk about what they're? Oh, Sage.
Sage. Yeah.
Well, I can echo the gratitude and also the appreciation for you, Teresa. Thank you so much for showing up. The flower in your hair and Kuan Yin behind you is just like,
I thought so too.
it's just a blessing for us all. So thank you for being such a blessing and bringing it. And your vulnerability is really touching, and it's great to witness. That's why I'm here. So thank you. I feel like I can relate, but I also, I mean, before the Zoom universe, I didn't even want to be on camera, you know. So I've had to learn how to just feel comfortable being on camera and that kind of thing, and speaking up, even in these weekly discussions where there's no judgment and, you know, kind of thing. And it's kind of interesting to be an introvert in a very extroverted media kind of world. But I feel like in terms of the reaching higher, you said something about grief, and that really hit me because I do feel like grief is one of those ways where we can continue to reach higher, and we can actually just, you know, like raise our arms and be lifted by spirit. And and it's just, it's incredible, because fear and grief and overwhelm and uncertainty have kind of been meshed in my like fabric during these fires. And I had to get away to get some perspective, and getting away was really helpful. And I'm still being informed, but I'm giving myself the required distance, that I need to be resilient, and I need to be to respond rather than react. And so I feel like recognizing those fight or flight and fear mechanisms that have been coping strategies and perhaps trauma response, and how to unravel that with trust, faith, gratitude, prayer, love, connection, um, overwhelming gratitude. And when I came home, it was strange because, you know, here I've got this beautiful blue sky, and I've got this gorgeous view and these beautiful landscapes. And sadly, there was a little bit of guilt, you know, because there's so much suffering and there's so much struggle and there's so much chaos. And I found my center in it, you know, just in the gratitude and in the reaching higher through it all, because it's it's, it's all there, and it's all right here. And so it's an interesting spiral, and we can either take it down or we can bring it up. So thank you.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, you know, and it reminds me, that's that tapestry that Reverend Jeff was talking about. Up close, it looks like the struggles and all that, and it is those knots, and stepping back, seeing a bigger picture of what's really happening as we find the equity and, you know, through social justice and all that, there's shifting and changing, and I just keep stepping back and seeing the bigger picture of good, and still knowing that, you know, times are also hard for folks too. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing, you know, yourself. Thank you so much. Nice to get to know you too.
Absolutely.
Mm. Who else? Are we wrapping up?
I'll
Ah,
say something.
yay.
So thank you so much, Teresa. I just love our community, and I just love that you were supported and felt supported enough to continue to get up here and to do this, because it makes me, this practitioner student, feel supported, right?
Mhm.
Getting ready to go through this process. So just know that watching you is helping me. And about liked your Thurman quote, which was about, finding your calling, right?
What makes you come alive?
What makes you come alive?
Uh-huh.
And spirit makes me come alive. And I think it does for you too. And I can see that in you. And I think it's great to, it's not great. It's amazing to be able to be around people to talk about what really makes us come alive and to find in it the similarity, which is to want to make the world a better place, i.e. world for better for everyone. So I'm just basking in that kind of the wonderfulness of our vulnerabilities and just the willingness to look at these things and to connect in this way. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to put the fears aside for the bigger vision of what's ours to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Service. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. It's actually been good to be here tonight. I'd much rather be here than said, oh no, I can't do this. Oh, I'm so thankful. Thank you. I'm so grateful to Reverend Jerry. Yeah, yeah.
If anyone has a share, now's the time to do it.
Yep.
If not, we're going to move on in our program.
I did want to say one other thing, Teresa, and everyone. You said the word service. The word service is a place that I come from, and I know how it nurtures me and grows me being in service and in service to our community particularly. So that is a very, very important part of our spiritual growth. And I know everyone here on the call is in high service, and I'm so grateful for that. And it just makes my heart sing. So thank you for this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Jerry.
Well, I want to honor you, Teresa, for reaching higher tonight, because you did. I have the honor and privilege of being the lead for the pre-service meeting and pulling all the knots together to make this tapestry called Wednesday night. And I knew you were a little bit challenged, and I hope you felt supported from the backup team and all of that. But I think you look terrific tonight, and your setting is beautiful, and you could have fooled me that you were anxious at all. You did a terrific job. So everybody, let's thank her for reaching higher for us tonight and presenting some ideas for us to think about. I love how you asked us the inquiry about how are we individually being called, but how are we as a world reaching higher? It doesn't look like a lot of that's going on, but in actuality, I think there is a lot of that going on out there right now.
Yeah.
And I think there's some big people doing some great things in the world that are not getting recognized for it because they're just doing it. So I'm comforted to know that there's some good people out there doing some good stuff. And I'm comforted to know that our own Reverend Jerry is reaching higher to lead us during this period. Jerry, thank you so much. It's just been a joy to work with you on these transitional elements that we've had to navigate over the last 3 or 4 months with everything. And it's just amazing as a community. We have this wonderful place that you get to see behind me. I'm always proud to display it. And wait till you see the gardens. If you haven't been at the center, I encourage you to take a drive up and go and look at the gardens. Margot and Diane got them in full view. And if you need a moment just to get away from the world and those outside things that that doesn't look like everybody in the world is reaching higher. It looks like it's trying to pull us down. Come through these gates and go check out the big, beautiful garden on both ends of the parking lot that Margot and Diane have manifested. It's a great space to zen out a little bit and do the nature thing that Jeff always pointed us in that direction. Nature is your guide. You know, the ground, nature, and the spirit, the two things work together for our highest good. So check out the grounds. So I'm going to do some announcements here. Some are important about Saturday. So bear with me as we move through these. And again, thank you, Teresa. So Peter's got PowerPoint tonight. So thank you, Zoom team. Peter, here we go. On Sunday, September 5th, Reverend Jerry is starting off September by talking about rising higher. So join us physically and in person in the sanctuary, or watch her and the service broadcast live on live stream or YouTube. Our service starts at 10:30. Please know that if you'll be joining us on Sunday in person or any time that you come to the center, we're all required to wear a mask inside all of our buildings, and we are practicing social distancing. Next Wednesday, September 8th, practitioner or ministerial student, Elena Hutchinson, who's here tonight, will speak about our September theme of reaching higher. Meditation at 6:30, service at 7. Wednesday services are going to continue in Zoom. Speaking of Zoom, Zoom has a new update policy. If you want all the details, ask Constance at oaklandcsl.org. Her email address is on our website. If you look in the practitioner list, Constance at oaklandcsl.org. And she'll be able to help you navigate the need to update your Zoom. The bottom line is, if you want to continue to access Zoom easily, make sure you have the latest version of their software. So put it on your calendar, Constance says, and update at least every 6 months, and she can help you through that process. This Sunday, September 5th, the Compassion Attention to Loss group is meeting by Zoom at 1 p.m. I think, Zoe, you're a part of that. He's here tonight. And the topic is a calm in the storm. It will be in Zoom, and all the information is on the events page of our website. That's Sunday at 1 o'clock. Now, this Saturday, September 4th, is the long-awaited Reverend Jeff's memorial service, and that's Saturday at 11 a.m. If you signed up to attend by using the RSVP on the website, your name will be in the foyer of the sanctuary where you will check in, and you will be seated in the sanctuary. But don't worry, if you didn't sign up, you can still join us in person and watch the live stream on the big screen outdoors in the courtyard. We do have a few open air seats with that access, so it's available on a first come, first served basis. I will report that Reverend Jerry and I and members of the compliance team, we sat down and rearranged the chairs, and so we can have quite a few more people in the sanctuary than we expected. And if all goes well, everybody will fit on Saturday. If not, we have overflow space on the outside. So I just want to let you know, please come. If you've chosen to be unvaccinated, we ask that you might want to consider watching it on live stream from home. But if you do attend, just know that we have COVID precautions in place for everybody, vaccinated or unvaccinated. So we'll all be able to see each other safely. On our next slide, you'll see that if you'd like to make a memorial donation, Reverend Jeff's family is asking you to donate to the capital fundraiser for the Centers for Spiritual Living Youth Camp. The link is on the CSL homepage at csl.org and on our homepage. And that's where you can make a donation in memory of Reverend Jeff. Now, I also want you to mark your calendars because this is the shortest announcements I have made on a Wednesday night in decades. So, yay, Teresa, we may wrap on time after all. Remember, all information about what is going on at the Oakland Center is at our website, www.oaklandcsl.org. Be sure to check our events page. So with that in mind, I think we'll take a few minutes. I want to do some thank yous. I want to thank Teresa for the meditation. I want to thank Zoe for grounding us in prayer. Always, Reverend Jerry, when you're here to watch us and take care of us during the service, thank you so much for being here. I want to thank the Zoom team. We've got Peter and Alice and Sage working hard behind the scenes to make sure everything goes well. So thank you so much. So in this moment of gratitude, I'd like to move to our offering. And let's just hold your gift in your arms and above near your heart. And repeat with me, joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. I hold that gift and I bless it, and I'm grateful for all of the contributions because we all benefit from those contributions, both in the physical and we spread it out into our community that goes out into the world and does wonderful things. So I'm grateful. I passed the digital bowl from square to square to square to receive your gift and offer you not 4 now, but 5 ways that you can make a donation, of course, through the website on our donate button that we've done for the last 18 months, a lot more. I love it. It took me years to drag out off of a checkbook and do it that way. I love it. Or you can still write a check and mail it in at the address that's listed there. If you're hip like the young people in the audience, like Teresa, she's a little bit younger than me. She's hip. She can text an amount to 510-327-3431. And we also now have Zelle for those people that like to use Zelle for giving at oaklandcsl.org. That's 4 ways. Or if you join us in person on Sundays in the sanctuary, we have the ability to leave our offering there. So there's 5 ways to give. So I'm grateful and I thank you. It does good work, not only in our center, but it allows us to do good work in the world. So thank you, all of you. Oh, it's been a wonderful evening. I'm blessed to be with you and to be your host, and I thank everyone that participates and supports us. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday, on Sunday, and next Wednesday. So with that in mind, Teresa, if you'd like to close us in prayer.
Yes. Thank you, Paul. You do a wonderful, wonderful service to the village here. You do such a great job on Wednesday nights. My goodness,
you.
all
Thank
you are.
My pleasure.
All right. Settling into this this unity and love. Spirit is right here. So grateful to know that Spirit is always right here, supporting and sustaining us as we turn together tonight in truth, in knowing that this is the truth of our life. It is the truth of our experience. It is the truth of the world and the universes. There is one thing going on here, and that's love, divine love, connecting each one of us here in beautiful harmony towards a world that works for everyone. Spirit is always right here, that one cause, that one power, that one heartbeat connects us all, breathes us all. And there is wisdom here There is knowing what is ours to be and to do, to reach past our comfort zones into a higher ground, to bring all our knowing through us and to the world, to do what is ours to be, to do what is ours to do, that each one of us sleeps well with that knowing that all is well in our lives, in the life of the world, beyond sometimes what we can see with our eyes. But we know the truth of our beings is the good. We step back and see the beauty, the harmony, the truth that love always wins out. We are mindful of this. We are so grateful to be together in that knowing, in that truth. And we sleep well, and we enter our day tomorrow refreshed, reaching higher for what is ours. And all is good, and all is love. We let go, and so it is.